Once upon a time there was a little boy called Silly Billy. Silly Billy was going on holiday. Not just any holiday, a proper grown-up one. To Turkey. With sunshine, swimming pools, and mysterious things called buffet. Mum had said it was a chance to relax. Dad had said it was a chance to wear shorts without judgment. Billy had said, "Can I pack my snorkel, my magnifying glass, and Jock the cockerel?" Jock, being a plush toy with delusions of grandeur, was already sitting in the suitcase wearing sunglasses and a paper crown. Sulky the cat, unimpressed by all this excitement, had curled up on top of Dad's folded shirts like a furry customs officer. "Billy, love, you can't take 5 pairs of socks and no pants," Mum said gently, holding up a red sock and a toy dinosaur. "And this isn't toothpaste, it's glue." Dad was rummaging through drawers for his passport, muttering things like, "I swear it was in the jam cupboard, and why is there a spoon in my shoe?" Grandad popped in with a magnifying glass and offered to help. "Passports are like socks," he said wisely. "They only show up when you stop looking." Gran arrived with a tin of travel biscuits and a knitted neck pillow shaped like a hedgehog. "Don't forget your sun cream," she said, handing Billy a bottle labeled Factor 50 and a bit more. Eventually, the suitcase was zipped, the passports were found, in the biscuit tin, naturally, and the family was ready. Billy stood proudly in his mismatched socks, clutching Jock and a map of Turkey drawn in crayon. "Do they have jam in Turkey?" he asked. "Only the best," Dad winked. "And possibly a racing driver or two." Billy's eyes sparkled. He didn't know what that meant, but it sounded like an adventure. The Turkish bazaar was a swirl of color, smells, and sounds. Billy had never seen so many things in one place: carpets that looked like treasure maps, towers of Turkish delight, and a man selling trousers so baggy they could fit a family of 4. Mum was haggling over a teapot shaped like a camel. Dad was trying to order coffee and accidentally bought a rug. Billy, meanwhile, had wandered off, drawn by a stall that shimmered like a treasure chest. "Ah, young explorer," said the man behind the stall, twirling his mustache like it was in a competition. "You have the look of someone who needs a watch." Billy blinked. "I already know what time it is. It's holiday o'clock." "Ah, but this is no ordinary watch," the man whispered, leaning in. "This watch tells adventure time." Billy's eyes widened. The watch was shiny and golden, with a face that ticked backwards and a tiny rooster engraved on the back. Jock the cockerel puffed up proudly. "How much?" Billy asked, fishing in his pocket for a crumpled pound coin, a marble, and a half-eaten biscuit. "For you, young sir, a trade," said the man. "You give me something special, I give you the watch." Billy thought hard. Then he handed over the biscuit. "It's ginger. Gran made it. Very rare." The man examined it like it was a diamond. "Deal." Billy strapped on the watch. It immediately went wibble, spun its hands in a circle, and made a noise like a duck sneezing. "Brilliant," Billy whispered. Just then, a crowd gathered nearby. "It's Lewis Hamilton," someone shouted. "He's here for the Grand Prix." Billy turned, and there he was. The real Lewis Hamilton. Cool sunglasses. Shiny jacket. Surrounded by fans. Billy's new watch buzzed again. The hand spun wildly. Jock flapped his wings. "Adventure time," he crowed. Billy grinned. "Let's go meet him." Billy's watch buzzed again, louder this time, like a tiny trumpet announcing something important. Jock flapped his wings. "Adventure time," he crowed. The crowd parted like magic. And there he was. Lewis Hamilton. Cool sunglasses. Shiny jacket. Surrounded by fans and camera flashes, he was chatting, laughing, signing autographs, and then, quite casually, he took off his coat and draped it over the back of a chair near the juice bar. Billy's eyes locked onto it. The coat shimmered like a disco ball with a driver's license. Silver, sparkly, and covered in tiny racing flags. His watch gave a third buzz, a long, dramatic wibble. Jock leaned in. "It's clearly destiny." Billy crept closer. The coat shimmered. The watch ticked backwards. Without quite knowing why, Billy slipped it on. It was far too big. It hung past his knees and made him look like a very stylish jellybean, but it felt right. Like the coat had chosen him. The crowd turned. "Lewis," someone shouted. "Wait, who's that?" Billy froze. Jock puffed up proudly. Mum appeared, holding a mango smoothie and a look of mild alarm. "Billy, love, is that Lewis Hamilton's coat?" Dad arrived with a sun hat and a guidebook titled How Not to Offend Turkish Waiters. "Did I miss a celebrity moment?" Lewis Hamilton turned, spotted Billy, and smiled. "Well, that's a surprise," he said, walking over. "Looks good on you." Billy blinked. "I didn't mean to steal it." My watch buzzed. It said adventure. Lewis crouched down. "Did it now?" "That's a very clever watch." Billy started to take the coat off, but Lewis held up a hand. "You know what? Keep it. It suits you. Just promise me you'll wear it when you do something brave. Or silly. Or both." Billy's mouth dropped open. "Forever." Lewis winked. "Forever." Jock crowed triumphantly. Mum blinked. Dad dropped his smoothie. Billy twirled in the coat, feeling like a superhero crossed with a jam-loving explorer. His watch gave a final, satisfied ding. The adventure was far from over. Back home in his cozy British bedroom, Billy lay tucked under his duvet, the sparkly coat hanging proudly on the hook behind his door. It shimmered faintly in the moonlight, like it remembered every moment of the adventure. Jock the cockerel was curled beside him, snoring gently and occasionally muttering things like bazaar biscuits and feathered diplomacy. The golden watch sat on the bedside table, ticking quietly. Every so often, it gave a soft wibble, as if it was dreaming of Turkish lanterns and famous racing drivers. Mum peeked in. "All settled, love?" Billy nodded sleepily. "I think the coat's magic." Mum smiled. "I think you're magic." Dad popped his head round the door. "Don't forget, school tomorrow." Billy groaned. "Can I wear the coat?" "Only if you're racing to breakfast," Dad chuckled. As the door closed, Billy whispered to Jock, "Do you think Lewis really meant it? That I could keep it forever?" Jock opened one eye. "He saw something in you. Something sparkly." Billy smiled. "I think he saw the socks. Lewis is such a nice guy." Outside, the stars twinkled. Inside, the coat shimmered, and somewhere in the world, Lewis Hamilton was probably telling his engineer, "There was this kid. Silly Billy. Took my coat. Never looked back." Billy drifted off to sleep with a grin on his face and adventure in his heart. Tomorrow would be ordinary. But tonight? Tonight was still holiday o'clock.